Welcome back to CEO Chronicles. Looks like this is now the new name of whatever this is going to be. Uh, for the last episode, I was in my hometown in Germany before the event in Davos, and wow, it feels like 2 months ago where the event was happening. So I think I've briefly explained it in the last time that we've been invited to an event that was part of the World Economic Forum for special crypto companies, and it was fun. It was definitely fun to be around these people and explore the surrounding and being part of what has this magic and gravity around it. But I think from my perspective, it's always different when you're inside, obviously, than when you're outside. And what do I mean by that? Mm, I've had the experience that it was like when you go into a soccer stadium, for example. First of all, there's a difference between watching it at home and being in the stadium. Obviously, you feel much more of the atmosphere, but also you have much more sacrifices that you need to make. So, in my example, I needed to fly from South Africa to Germany. In Germany, I took the car, then we were driving to Davos. I picked up Joao on the way. We've been in Davos for 7 days. Driving back now, I flew back to South Africa, so I'm currently in Cape Town, and it is really like when you go to a soccer game. The atmosphere is different, but depending on where you live, you need to travel there. You obviously pay for the tickets. In our case, that was with the event not the case, but usually people pay entry and tickets to go there. And then in the stadium, you have these different seats. You have the last row seats where you're just part of the game, but you don't really see everything. You're just there with some people and you're hopefully having a good time. Then you have more the front row seats where you see a bit better, where you see some players, you recognize players, and you can really enjoy the game. Then you have the VIP lounges, and even in the VIP lounges, you have different categories. So you have the smaller lounges, private lounges, you have the huge sponsor lounges, and then you have the media access where you're on the sideline or you're part of the dressing room where the players get dressed, etc. So you have these different levels. In our case, we had the back row seats. Let's be honest. Like, it's not that we are hugely influential politicians that get flown in by a chopper and are part of limousine service, getting picked up, going to the five-star hotels, having access to everything. That's not who we are. We are not at that stage yet. Um, but it was fun to see, and experience that. We've seen a lot of choppers going back and forth. It feels like it was a very closed circle. So within that realm, within that space, there were certain levels. So to most of the stuff, you just don't have access. So um, there are private meetings that are held where you either need to purchase a participation months or even years ago. We got the invite a week before, 10 days before. I don't fully remember. When was it? Somewhere between 10 days and a week, approximately. And you just don't have access. So it's cool for everybody who has no idea how Davos looks like. You have this one main street. It's called the Promenade. That has nothing to do with an actual promenade. That's just the name. And on the side, there are different shops or offices or places, bars that are being rented by companies to have a small exhibition that is part of the whole Davos experience. We had a very good gyros. The vegan gyros was so good there. We met some good people, some politicians. We met, like, just having a conversation, bumping into each other. I met the commissioner of El Salvador. Very interesting person, to be honest. We had a chat. He was in the VIP backstage area of where the speech was, so that was quite fun. And obviously, El Salvador is a huge crypto hub. Their government is massively into crypto and blockchain. So we had a good solid chat. That was actually fun. And then a few more hospitality people and some investors. And I think to these events you don't go to meet a gazillion people. I was never that person that was like connecting with like hundreds of people. You more go there for this one meeting, this one person that potentially has a massive impact on changing the direction. I feel like we didn't meet this person or this one change, uh, but still, it was a good experience, and I think I learned a lot. It was great to be part of the circus, if you want to call it like that. Mm, we won the Rising Star Award, as I said, or I might have mentioned, which is a great honor. It's the first award that we are winning, that we're part of. We don't really apply for awards. So it's great for the outside world. I love the recognition. I appreciate that. It's a great achievement. It's a good step for the company. Me personally, mm, I'm not that big of an award guy. Just I don't think it's real. Like, cause who's in the jury? Who's deciding? At the end, the impact that you have is not measured by awards, but by happy customers, people in your surrounding, people that are working in your company and are feeling great and can grow and blossom in their environment. An award is just for a social media post from my perspective. The next part is I think there is a huge, I would say, mistake that is in these awards, which is they don't include customers, which for me doesn't make sense. Um, I want to hear a customer's experience, not just an entrepreneur's experience, because an entrepreneur has a completely different perspective on a business than the end consumer. So why don't you put two, three, four, five normal people that are not building ventures, that haven't built ventures before, and add them because you want to look at it from both perspectives. You want to look at it from corporate side. How well is this company structured? How much impact can they have? How good is their team? What is their vision? What are they working on? But also, let's involve the people who are actually using their product. That would be, I think, the right way because right now, as in most of the awards that you have a jury. It's mostly a rather diverse group of people, mm, from different backgrounds. One is more a product person, the other one is maybe more a finance person, the other one is more an operations person. So I would wish that in these award ceremonies, if you're even part of it, like involve customers. I would love that. I would love to hear like the customers' feedback and like, hey, we love this company or we love this concept. We would definitely be open to use it. This would have a significant impact on our life. I think it would make sense. It's for me not really understandable how people are not doing that. But then we were driving back from Davos, again back to Germany, and on the way we got some amazing news, which is we got featured in the largest hospitality, um, what is it called, like online magazine in Portugal, and the vast majority of our people are Portuguese. So there was again great recognition, but they also have done it very nicely, very well written article. I enjoyed reading that a lot. And then I've flown back to Cape Town, and wow, does it feel good to be here? Like I know there will be so much travels in the next few months. but Cape Town is my happy place. Like having these morning dips here, going to our favorite morning coffee. Um, Sometimes I have my guilty pleasure, which is like it's called a hazelnut bun. Um, it's like a larger cinnamon swirl, but with chocolate instead of cinnamon. It's so good. Wow, it's good. Um, and yeah, just being here is beautiful. We've also got more people on board, which is fun. I had a meeting with a hotel owner here in South Africa. I would be curious to know, for those of you who are registered members within our community, how do you think about investing in South Africa? What is your perception? Because obviously I am here, and for me it makes a lot of sense for various reasons. I will not mention them at the moment because I don't want to influence you in any direction, but for me, because I'm here, it makes a lot of sense. I had the same experience when I was in Indonesia. When was that? Was that last year? No, it was the year before. It was 2022. Mm, we were in Indonesia for 2 months. Before that, I never considered investing in Indonesia. But when we were there and saw the market, it was like, oh, life changing would be an overstatement, but it opened a lot of doors in my head because the market prices are very European, and Bali is not. So we were in Bali, not Indonesia as a whole, but in Bali. Bali got expensive. So everybody who's saying Bali is so cheap and you can eat there for $1 and you get a crazy Airbnb for $10, it's not true. I haven't, or at least I haven't experienced. Maybe I was in the wrong Bali. Maybe there's a Bali 2 or whatever. But um, I don't know how you've, for those of you who have been there, experienced that. For me, Bali was like regular European prices. Bali was fun. Um, I'm also a late night worker, so for me it was very natural to have the morning, so to say, free, and because everybody's still sleeping from the team, and then work until late night. So we had a surf in the morning, then had a good uh, smoothie bowl or breakfast. I had the best waffles of my life in Bali. I forgot what the name was, but it was in Canggu. And in Uluwatu, the Loft Cafe had insane pancakes or waffles. So Bali was great for me in terms of working time zones, working hours. That was great, but it was so humid. Like it's so warm. I don't understand how people can work there, digital nomads. Like either you're inside and you have an AC, then I get it. But I feel that it's the humidity is insane. That's also what I love about Cape Town. Usually, the last few days it was pretty humid also here, but usually because of the ocean right there and the mountains, you usually have fresher air, um, and you can work actually because we are obviously working a lot at the moment. Um, so for me, that's very important, and it gets quite cold at night. I love sleeping in the cold. That was fun in Davos also. Um, it had like on the mountain it had like minus 20 at a certain moment. Um, that was that was crazy. By the way, now speaking of Davos, we also went Friday one morning. We went skiing. Clemens was there. Um, Great that he came like extra from Munich for essentially 48 hours. And Joao, mm, and I haven't skied in years. I was snowboarding. I used to ski when I was younger with my grandparents. Used to grow up in the Black Forest area. Also spent a lot of time with my grandparents when I was younger. So I was skiing with my grandparents. But at a certain moment, snowboarding was cooler. That will start the snowboarding skiing debate. But I was snowboarding the last few years. But because Joao and Clemens were both skiing, I said, okay, why not? I'll give it a try. Yeah, it took me 10-15 minutes. Then I was pretty much back, but the first 10-15 minutes, I felt like I'm on skis for the first time in my life. But the area where we've been, um, you had these three stages. First gondola, second gondola, and then you had these seating. How do you call this? A chairlift? I think that's it. The chairlift. Um, and at the top, it was foggy. It was like um, Joao explained it pretty well. It was like apocalypse in stage one. It was like beautiful in stage two, and was icy in stage three. But on top, I've never had that in my life before. It was apocalypse 10x. You couldn't see anything. You know, you have these posts on the side, like and you like taking a. Do you say ride? You ski in between those, or you snowboard in between those, but you couldn't see where the next one is. So you never knew. Okay, am I going straight down, whatever, or am I still on track? And there's a funny video. I think we've also put it in one of the reels where I'm just falling like for no reason because we lost orientation. We were skiing, but it felt like we were standing, and we were standing, but we felt still like moving, and the the sky and the mountain blended into each other, so you couldn't see anything. That was a bit scary, to be honest. And then on the second stage, you had these beautiful mountains, like beautiful landscape. When we were out of the clouds, it was amazing. It was so fun, beautiful weather, um, fresh powder snow because we had snow like the night before. That was so fun. It was definitely one of the funnest skiing mountain experiences I had. And obviously, look, guys, I didn't had winter for 4 or 5 years in a row. I was following summer always. So I always spent my winters, so December, January, I spent in Cape Town, sometimes a bit longer, sometimes I flew somewhere else, sometimes a bit in Dubai, I was in Mexico for some time, then we had Indonesia for some time, so I was constantly having summer. I haven't had winter for the last 4 or 5 years. But this one was special. Like, I forgot how beautiful the Swiss mountains are. Wow. I was stunned. We were driving, and these roads with the sharp turns. I don't know the English word. It's serpentine in German. I don't know. Serpentines. If that's the right. Serpentinies, like serpentinas, maybe in Spanish. I don't know. Uh, so we were driving there through the mountains, left and right. Beautiful snow, very cold, so fun. I had so much fun with Joao, um, and then obviously also doing home office, working together, getting a lot of stuff done. I really miss office sometimes. It has its pros and cons, Like the pro is for a company we can hire globally. That is fantastic. When you have an office, you're mostly looking for people in that region. So when we had the office in Berlin, we hired people that are in the Berlin region. Obviously, it makes sense. Um, when you don't have an office and your company is fully remote, you can hire around the world. So we currently have people Poland, Spain, Portugal, Netherlands, Germany, Dubai, Australia. Yeah, and then our developers obviously are with Next to You, our development partner. They have people also in more countries, also Portugal, Algeria. But yeah, at the core we have like seven or eight countries where we employ people, which is super fun. So that's the good side. And the people have their freedom. They can spend their days exactly the way they want. But you don't see each other so often. So for me, it was very special to see Joao again because you have a bit. we call these coffee machine talks. You don't usually have that um, in your regular day to day, because you don't huddle. Huddle is what you call in Slack, or you don't call each other on a short notice and say, "Hey, let's have a chat." You know, I had spaghetti for breakfast, spaghetti for breakfast, spaghetti for lunch, and I had a quick walk, and it's like we try to have that, but you cannot have that on the level where you say, "Hey, grab your shoes, we go for a quick walk, like 10 minutes around the block." Good. It just feels different. Speaking of the freedom, so in our case, we don't have holidays, which I know for a lot of people sounds like, how do you do that? How's that possible? You guys don't have holidays. What are the rules? um, we just have a different approach to this. People can take off whenever they want, for as long as they want. If they have a doctor's appointment, they don't need to ask for permission, they just need to inform us. When they have parents visiting, or they meet their siblings for lunch, or they have whatever, life happens, you know, you have a meeting with, or not a meeting, an appointment with your insurance company, or you have an accident, or you go out and you want to spend half a day recovering. I don't know what it is. um, then people just inform us. And I feel like we are doing great because everybody's very responsible with it. I'm curious to see how that is unfolding over time um, when you grow. But so far, everybody is very responsible with how they use or misuse this freedom that they have. And I'm quite happy. And I think right now it works great for us. So that was a bit private, bit business. But I feel also great right now. Like I remember when I recorded the first CEO Chronicles, where I did a yearly review bit, or my 27th year review, and I feel like I did good. I'm happy. I did a great start overall into the year. We had a sick start in business from a spiritual perspective. So if we go, some of you will remember the 7 life areas. If I go down physical, I train 4 times, 5 times per week at the moment. I'm feeling good. It was a bit difficult with Davos, I have to admit, but other than that, I'm good. From a mental and emotional state, I'm really good at the moment. Time, I think I'm using a lot of my time wisely. This can always be better, obviously, but I think it feels like I'm making improvements there. Relationships are great. I don't see my parents very often. Uh, it was great to see my mom actually. That was so good. I'd love to see, I love to see my mom when I was in Germany. I miss her sometimes. Definitely. It was good to see my mom. So my relationships are great. I believe it feels good. Financially, we're doing very good at the moment. Crypto's coming back. Hey Bitcoin, what's up? Good to see you again. No, crypto's coming back, which is cool to see. Then career, we are on a roll at the moment. Like sometimes I'm shocked with this. The first month already felt like 2-3 months, and we are on a roll right now. We have also some things prepared that we will announce in the next few weeks that are gonna be mind-boggling. I can't wait for this. So this is great. And the top one, the spirituality one, I'm meditating almost every day. I think 6 times a week. One day maybe I'm just, for example, one day we had this amazing dinner mm, in the middle of a cactus field. Maybe you've seen a bit on our Instagram. beautiful. We got so much inspiration for events in this. It's called Kraaktafel. It's a Dutch founder, and he's organizing every quarter a dinner at secret spots. So you need to drive somewhere, and then they have a shuttle and they bring you to a secret location. Um, when we came back home, we came back at 2:30, I believe, because it was quite a drive. Um, that's why I didn't meditate, because I love to meditate always in the evening. So for those of you who are not sleeping well, what works fantastic for me is journal, and then meditation with healing frequencies. And with healing frequencies, you have these different that you can choose for healing, for clarity, for manifestation, for, I don't know, like there's a million options. I love that because my brain is on full speed for a crazy amount of time during the day. So for me to have a switch off button is so valuable because I remember I had the time before the event in Lisbon. Mm, my sleep, I can show you my sleep stats maybe in the next recording or so. My sleep stats were 3 to 4 hours average weekly. I couldn't sleep. Also, like I didn't sleep. I didn't have a good recovery. I didn't sleep well. I didn't sleep a lot. I was stressing out about certain things. If we'll get everything in time happen. Right now, I'm chilling. That doesn't mean I don't care. I'm extremely caring about what we are doing. I love what we are building. It's constantly on my mind. Um, but I'm able to find the switch off button right now. And that is a great feeling to be able to go to bed and say, okay, tomorrow is another day. I can really leave the business where it is and I will pick it up tomorrow morning. That is a crazy feeling. And it's not only with the business, it's also whenever issues occur. Obviously, as I said, life always happens for all of us. There's always something that you're dealing with, if it's family related, if it's job related, if it's health related. Um, Life just happens. You have a car accident, your washing machine breaks down, whatever. To be able to find that switch off button and not taking it with you to sleep or to bed is such an underrated skill and such a blessing. Because the next day always starts the evening before. And I feel when we had this dinner and we came back home late, we didn't drink alcohol. I don't say I don't drink at all. I'm not a strict non-drinker, but I drink maybe once every quarter, maybe every half a year, like very infrequently and barely anytime. So I didn't drink also, even though it was a great dinner, I didn't drink. And I felt it the next day. Even though I didn't drink, I felt that. I came back home late. I went to bed. We came back 2:30. We went to bed 3:15 ish, around that. And obviously then your recovery is not perfect, but that's okay. But I felt that I was taking experiences with me to bed, and I didn't empty my brain, if that makes sense. So for me, it's always important to empty my head at the end of the day, and then I can relax and rest. I feel like I've emptied my brain with this one. That was so fun. I enjoyed this a lot. Sometimes before these, mm, I don't know what to talk about because I want to prepare something. I want to make a point. I want to share a message or speak about a certain topic. Specifically, this time I can show you my notes for those of you who are seeing this with video. Davos Award, Statement to Award, Portugal News Routines. That's it. But I felt there were so many small stories in between. That was that was fun for me. So I enjoyed that a lot, guys. Um, thank you. If you made it this far, uh, I appreciate you for for your interest, for listening, and I can't wait for the next few weeks, months, episodes. Life is good at the moment. We are on a roll. I'm on a roll. I feel great, and I can't wait for 2024 and what's going to happen this year. We had an amazing start all across, and let's see how we can build on top of that or what challenges come across. And other than that, guys, I wish you a fantastic day. I hope you're doing great. I hope you're blessed wherever you are, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.